So hello, everybody. Let's light a candle to bring the light and the love of all that there is into the room. Bring the light and love here today on this Martin Luther King Jr. celebration day. Let's take a deep breath in and let go of the tensions of the day. Deep breath in. Letting go of the tensions of last night or before. Now just breathing in the light and the love of all that there is. Holding at the top and sharing. So today we're going to be working on a little research, putting spirituality, using spirituality to create peace and putting that into practice. So I've got a PowerPoint to share. And so let me get that up. And so we start with this quote that I thought was so appropriate for today. World peace through nonviolent means is neither absurd nor unattainable. All other methods have failed. Thus, we must begin anew. Those of us who believe in this method can be voices of reason, sanity, and understanding amid the voices of violence, hatred, and emotion. We can very well set a mood of peace out of which a system of peace can be built. So today we are creating peace in a spiritual way, putting research into practice. I'm Kathy Johnson, Reverend Kathy Johnson, and I am an interfaith and interspiritual minister. Before ordination, I had a career in education through curriculum development and instructional technology. And that's kind of the way my brain thinks. And so to look into science, to find how spirituality can work is very important to me. And so I bring that piece in today. So before ordination, I worked in education and used research from neurology to help people improve memory, attention, and other cognitive issues. And in ministry, today, my time is spent helping people of all communities to celebrate the earth and all inhabitants, to share the idea that all beings are worthy of love, to create peace, and to know that peace begins with me. So the first research, let me get this little thing out of here, there, maybe that's better over there. The first piece of research was from the Transcendental Meditation Research Organization and comes from the summer of 1993, in which 4,000 people in Washington, D.C., they meditated twice a day for 20 minutes over a period of 8 weeks. So that was quite a bit for the 4,000 people to be doing. But yet they saw violent crime dropped by roughly 25% during that time. The research project was considered sufficiently sound, balanced, and thorough enough to be published in the peer-reviewed scientific journal, Social Indicators Research. Another piece of research was the intention experiment, where there were tens of thousands of meditators from 65 countries who meditated for 8 days in September 2009. Their intention was to decrease war and violence in Sri Lanka. They meditated at the same time for 10 minutes, sending intention. Okay, they meditated for 8 days, only for 10 minutes a day. And during the week, violence actually increased, mostly from the government. For a few weeks after, violence remained high and then was decreasing. But immediately after, despite all that violence, the death rate suddenly fell by 74% and injuries by 48%. Astounding. Here locally, there was the Albany Peace Project, which has been ongoing and continues to work through something called the Global Cities Peace Project. The first one was with Dr. Foldy and Bethany Gagne during the month of January of 2014. This meditation was conducted by hundreds of people. And the results that they saw for the month of January, so it was a whole month long, was that robbery, aggravated assault, and burglaries were lowered significantly by at least over 10% each when compared to the same month 1 year before. And this was, I knew about most of these. And so last summer, when I started noticing that there were daily shootings in Albany, this got me very upset. Shootings, gun violence disturbs me a lot. And when day after day in the newspaper, I kept reading about shootings, I got more and more upset. And there were injuries as well as fatalities. And this streak was lasting for at least a week before I got together with my weekly spiritual seekers. They get together with me on one night a week, and we do various things. But after a week of shootings, knowing that there had been research that through meditation, you could possibly change things, I did a guided meditation for the group that lasted 30 minutes. And actually, it was 2 weeks later when I was thinking about what should we be talking about for our evening that evening. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's see how our meditation did, because I hadn't been paying attention. So I went to where the police had been daily recording any, what had been going on that day, especially with regards to violence and gun violence. And so, although I do want to say after that day, there were a few times that a few of us meditated, but it wasn't consistent and it wasn't together. So what I found was shootings continued for 2 more days, but then there were zero shootings for the next 12 days. And that was enough to teach me that this can be very powerful. And I do hear those words that we are more powerful than we know. So that's what brings me to this project here. So I decided to also look at what is the research on meditation and stress. And so I did find that there's an Association for Psychological Science, that there was an article written called The Science of Prayer. And in there, Dr. Ross Marin says that the research that has been done on prayer shows that it may have similar benefits to meditation. It can calm your nervous system. It can shut down your flight or fight response. It can make you less reactive to negative emotions and less angry. And to me, that means feeling peaceful inside. And an awful lot of what we hear from Dr. King and from others is talking about inner peace and how important that is. A 2005 study in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine comparing secular and spiritual forms of meditation found spiritual meditation to be more calming. In secular meditation, you focus on something such as your breath or a non-spiritual word. In spiritual meditation, you focus on a spiritual word or text. Participants were divided into groups, with some being taught how to meditate with words that describe, some being taught on how to meditate with words using self-affirmation such as I am love, and others taught how to meditate with words that described a higher power, such as God is love. They then meditated for 20 minutes a day for 4 weeks. Researchers found that the group that practiced spiritual meditation showed greater decreases in anxiety and stress and more positive mood. They also tolerated pain almost twice as long when asked to put their hand in an ice water bath. I find that humorous. I would not enjoy that. Other research on meditation and prayer. I went and looked to see what else there is, on the published research, and I found this one on prayer and healing, a medical and scientific perspective on randomized controlled trials. And so here are the names of the 2 researchers, which I will not butcher. I will just ignore them. You can read them there. What they found was that religious traditions across the world display beliefs in healing through prayer. The healing powers of prayer have been examined in triple-blind, randomized, controlled trials. We illustrated randomized controlled trials on prayer and healing with one study in each of different categories of outcome. We provide a critical analysis of the scientific and philosophical dimensions of such research. Prayer has been reported to improve outcomes in human as well as non-human species, to have no effect on outcomes, to worsen outcomes, and to have retrospective healing effects. For a multitude of reasons, research on the healing effects of prayer is riddled with assumptions, challenges, and contradictions that make the subject a scientific and religious minefield. We believe that the research has led nowhere, and that future research, if any, will forever be constrained by the scientific limitations that we outline. So me being one who believes in science and spirituality, thinks that it's important to share it all. So what conclusions from most of these is that meditation and prayer can reduce violence and create peace. A one-time experiment does not create long-lasting peace, and more research and experimentation must be done. Now, I share with you here assumptions for this meditation, and I have many. And the main thing is we come from so many different backgrounds, and this is an inclusive space, no matter who you are, what you believe, or anything. So, so I bring to you my assumptions for this meditation. And so through these assumptions, we can believe that perhaps the meditation that we will do for the last half hour will make a difference. Okay, first assumption. We are more than physical beings. We are an integrated being with physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual components. We can create peace physically through vigils and peaceful protests. We can create peace through mental activities like art, reading, writing, and speaking our conscience. We can create peace emotionally through reducing our own stress. We can create peace spiritually through meditation and prayer. And when we are more peaceful individually, we add to peace globally. Another assumption is that we are one, And this feeling of we are one is brought out through Dr. King's speeches, through almost all religious backgrounds, and many spiritual and non-spiritual places. For example, there is a more secular thought that we are made up of the collective consciousness, for example, that altogether we are one. So our bodies are made up of molecules, which are made up of atoms, which are made up of energetic particles in space. Therefore, at the atomic level, there is no line between our bodies and the space surrounding it. We are one with the air, water, fire, and earth. We are one with other humans, animals, like my little kitty here, and plants. Our thoughts and actions have consequence on all of creation because we are one. Another assumption, we are energetic beings. Our energy affects the energy of others. And we can see that in everyday life. When we walk into a room, if the energy of the room is either very happy or extremely sad, it affects our energy. So there's another assumption that when we raise our energy through meditation and prayer, we raise the energy of the universe, even if only a fraction. Another assumption, prayer and meditation are very similar. I will use the word meditation. Meditating with others is stronger than meditating alone. Meditating together on Zoom is stronger than meditating alone. And meditating in person is stronger than meditating on Zoom. Some assumptions. And another assumption, we have no idea the effect of our actions. What happens today may have a huge effect on the world, but it may not. We must simply assume that our actions make a difference. We can only meditate with humility, hope, and faith. So, lastly, language. Language is so challenging. It is impossible to have an inclusive language that will work for a large, diverse group of people. I make the assumption that there is a creator of some sort, and that creator may have many different names. So I will do the best I can by using all that there is, was, and will be, or spirit, or one, to address this mystery. And I hope that you will be able to substitute in your mind as we go the words or word that you use. And at this point, it is time to begin our guided meditation. So at this point, I just ask you can keep your eyes open, looking at this beautiful sunrise. This picture was taken at the solar eclipse at sunrise this past summer. Or you can close your eyes or lower your gaze. You may lie down, you may sit in your chair, you may lean back, do whatever you can to be the most comfortable. Take a deep breath in and let go of any tensions or anticipations or anything you have regarding this meditation. Another deep breath in and letting go of any tension that you may still have. Now breathing in the light and love of all that there is. Holding at the top and sharing with this group of people, this group of meditators. And I offer this intention. Dear one, during this meditation, please be with us as we hope to bring more peace to this world. We bring this peace first to ourselves, raising the peace through your love and your peace in our hearts. We will then be sharing that peace to the space around us. We will then be sharing that peace with the city of Saratoga and the county of Saratoga. We will stop there today, but know that this peace that we will be bringing to this area, we know that this will also create peace that will ripple throughout the universe. And we ask that it may be so. Amen. So everyone, I want you to feel your seat in your chair, your feet on the floor, your back against the back of the chair or the sofa or the bed that you're lying in. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, feel yourself becoming heavy, heavy in the furniture that you are leaning against. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, feeling the clothes against your skin, your breath as it leaves your body, and just feeling the air that surrounds you. This time taking in a deep breath in, and as you exhale, creating roots through your feet, through your bottom, through your back, down through the furniture, down through the floor. Deep breath in, and then down, creating roots deeper and deeper through the basement, through into the earth, down deeper into the earth. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, extending your roots, going deeper, deeper into the warmer earth and wider, creating more and more roots, diverse roots, additional roots upon roots, getting finer and wider. Deep breath in. Feeling these roots now extending beyond your property, wherever you are, creating a system underneath this land, extending towards other people within Saratoga Springs. Deep breath in. And exhaling, breathing deeper and wider so that these roots now extend further beyond Saratoga Springs, through the county, leading up to the edges to the north, to the east, to the south, and to the west. And now sitting here, going back to a normal breath, and just breathing and contemplating this physical earth, this physical space, and how we are connected through our root systems. That you and I are connected through our roots that are intertwined below the surface of the earth, intertwined in this warmth and this peace of Mother Gaia. And 2 more normal, peaceful breaths here. Now this time we're going to be breathing in deeply from the earth, breathing in the light and the love of the physical world, breathing that into our heart and creating peace and light in our heart. So deep breath in from our roots, in through our spine and up to our heart, breathing in, holding it, and sharing. And again, breathing in from the earth into our heart, bringing this warmth and this light and this love, creating our heart's warmth and peace, and letting go. And a third time, deep breath in, into our heart and holding it at the top, and sharing with each of ourselves here on the Zoom call. And back to a normal breath. Noticing our heart, noticing our bodies, that we feel lighter, that we feel warmer, that our heart feels like it's a little larger, filled with peace, filled with love. Okay, this time as we breathe in, we exhale through the tops of our heads as if we are creating branches of this tree, branches that reach up and split and become more and more branches. Breathing in deeply and creating more and more branches that reach up so high that they reach the spiritual world. Breathing in deeply. And this time sprouting from all of these branches, leaves that act like solar panels that are all pointing towards the light and the love of all that there is. And at this point, we're going to breathe in, breathing in normally for 3 breaths and just relaxing, feeling that we are this bridge between the physical and the spiritual, feeling that we are the trunk of a tree within a forest that exists throughout the universe. Now breathing in deeply from Mother Gaia, breathing in through our roots, into our hearts, and exhaling through our branches and our leaves into the spiritual world. Breathing in the light and love from the spiritual world into our hearts, and exhaling this light and this love to the spiritual world. Breathing in from the spirit or from the physical world, breathing in through our roots into our heart, bringing in the light and love of the earth. And exhaling to the spiritual world, sending that light and that love up to the spiritual world. Breathing in light and love from the spiritual world into our heart. Exhaling now to the physical world, that light and that love, spreading it through our roots, spreading it to each other, spreading it throughout Saratoga Springs and Saratoga County. Breathing in from the physical. Exhaling to the spiritual. Breathing in from the spiritual. Exhaling to the physical. Breathing in from the physical. Holding there in our heart. Exhaling to the spiritual. Breathing in from the spiritual. Holding into our heart. Exhaling to the physical. Taking 3 relaxing breaths. Going back to our deep breathing, breathing in from the physical, the light and the love of all that exists physically. Holding it in our heart. Exhaling it through our branches into the spiritual. Breathing in the light and love of all that there is. Holding it in our heart. Exhaling to the physical. Breathing in peace and warmth from the physical world. Holding it in our heart. Exhaling to the spiritual. Breathing in from the light and the love of all that there is. Holding in our heart. Exhaling to the physical. Breathing in from the physical. Hold. Exhaling to spiritual. Inhale spiritual. Hold. Exhale physical. Inhale physical. Hold. And relax. Breathing normally for 3 relaxing breaths. Feel the warmth in your body. Feel the peace in your heart. Feel the love that surrounds you. At this point, bring to mind something in your own life that you want to share peace with, that you want to make more peaceful in your heart, in your life. Maybe an event, it may be a person, but send peace to that event right now, breathing in the light and the love of all that there is, physical and spiritual, and share with that person or event. Breathing in the light and love of all that there is, and sharing with that person or that event. And one more time, breathing in the light and the love of all that exists. and sharing with that person or event. And go back to just a peaceful breath. And while we are here right now, I want you to consider an event or a person that exists in the city of Saratoga Springs that you would like to send peace to. So breathing in light and love of all that exists, both spiritually and physically, breathing in and share with that event or that person. Breathing in the light and the love and the peace of all that exists. And sharing with that event, with that person. Breathing in the light and love of all that there is. Holding in your heart and sharing with that event or that person. And go back to breathing normally for 3 breaths. And now, while you're breathing normally, consider something in Saratoga County, an event, a person, a group of people. Consider them in your peaceful heart, bringing them in. And now breathing in, both from spirit and from physical world, the light and love of all that there is. And exhale, sharing that with these people in the county of Saratoga. Breathing in the light and love of all that exists, both spiritually and physically. And sharing it with that people, that group of people, that person or that event in the county of Saratoga. And one more time, breathing in the light and love of all that there is. Hold it in your heart and share it with Saratoga Springs. Let's go back to breathing normally. A peaceful, normal breath. And contemplate your body, which has brought you to this moment. This body that is lighter than air. This heart that has grown so full with peace and love, that has grown so full of light. This heart that has brought in the peace, the light, and the love of all that there is, but especially this weekend, of Dr. Martin Luther King, who shared with us the words, "The darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." You, all of you have the power to bring light, to bring love, to bring peace to our world. Just as we have done during this guided meditation. I say this closing prayer. Dear one, thank you so much for this time together. May the peace and the love and the light that has been created and shared between all of us grow and multiply, not just in ourselves, not just in those that we prayed for and meditated for, not just for Saratoga Springs and Saratoga County, but also far beyond, and far beyond just today. May it be so. Amen. Amen. And so it is. So come on back, bringing your consciousness into the room, here with me, here with us. You can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your body a little bit. You can open your eyes when you're ready. And it's time to contemplate what is next. I want to continue this effort with you and more. I hope that you will meditate with me on Wednesday or Thursday evenings using this link, either at 5:30 or 7. If you would please write in the chat what you would prefer, what's better for you. If you want to come, Wednesdays or Thursdays, 5:30 or 7. I want to maximize the number of people that can meditate together like this to create change in the world. Once COVID numbers reduce to the point that we feel safe navigating in person, we will begin a hybrid event. And those of you who live in Saratoga Springs, we actually have a nice room to meditate in the Presbyterian New England Congregational Church. And we will be doing that in person as well as on Zoom using this link. Also, daily, if you would like to increase peace in your life, one thing I learned as a person who worked with brain science, if you do something every day, not just once in a while, you do something every day, it will make changes in your brain. So if you would like to, come meditate with me for only 15 minutes every morning. If you came during the weekend, you know what to expect. I do this 15-minute wake up to peace where we do a reading, we do guided meditation and music. 15 minutes and we're done. But doing it every day creates long-term change. And then finally, to make sure you're included in all communication about further meditation, please send me an email at revkathyjohnson@gmail.com. And I will be keeping track of who wants to stay together doing this important work and continuing this.